Hello, you beautiful people. Today is day 5 of Lent 2024, and what I'd love for you to consider giving up on this day is added sugar in your diet. I know this is not news to you that added sugar in the diet is not good for us, but I hope that I can just bring another perspective for you and also not only just give you more information about why added sugar is such a problem, but give you resources of people you can trust whose information is available to you for free on the internet, on YouTube, and you can just listen to what they have to say, that they say it in a way that hopefully you can understand it and that you can trust them, because they are 3 physicians in particular. There are many more, but these 3 in particular are very up on the latest science, and they are not afraid to change their mind on a public statement they've made, no matter how vehemently they felt it in the past. If they come across new science that makes them change their mind, they state, I was said this before and now I believe this. This is the latest thing and this is what we're recommending at this time. Okay, so why is added sugar such a terrible thing? Well, back in the 80s, we were told to go low fat, that it was eating fat that made us fat. But there was actually no clinical studies that proved that. It was an assumption and it was wrong. And so this low fat craze has been one of the worst, biggest experiments ever run on a population, and it has failed miserably. We are sicker now than we ever have been, and it basically all started when they told us to cut out fat from our diet, because fat is an essential nutrient, but sugar is not. We have essential fatty acids, we have essential amino acids, but there's no such thing as essential carb. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want you to eat fiber. Fiber is very important, and you get fiber from carbohydrates. So high fiber carbs are fantastic for you, but I'm saying cut out the sugar. All right, I know you've heard this before, but let me just go over it one more time. Added sugar in the diet is ubiquitous. It's everywhere, and you have to be very, very diligent. One of the best ways that you can avoid added sugar in your diet is to just stop eating processed foods. Just eat whole foods. Eat apples. Eat steak. Eat eggs. Eat whole foods that don't even require a label. The FDA says this is an avocado. It doesn't require a food label, because it isn't just what's in these processed food, it's what's been done to the food, all the chemicals that they've added to it that they don't have to report, and the pulverization that they do that make wheat turn into basically mainlining sugar. You could just IV a bag of sugar or eat certain kinds of wheat that have been pulverized. And all right, off my high horse, who can you trust? I want to give you 3 physicians that I'm telling you can go online and listen to what they say and apply it. Number 1, Dr. Mark Hyman, Hyman. He is one of the founders of functional medicine. He's founded the Institute for Functional Medicine, and he has written close to 20 books, if not more, on food and diet and lifestyle. And my favorite one for him is Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? It's just chapter by chapter. What are the foods that most of us should be eating, and which are the foods most of us should absolutely be avoiding? And it has quizzes and great information and shopping lists and pantry clean out instructions, all kinds of very useful information that I highly recommend to you. Okay, so that's Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? Secondly, by him, he has a 10-day detox. It's a sugar detox, but it's also detoxing other foods from your diet. And I know many of my clients who have done this on day 10 never want to go back to eating the way they did before, because basically all of their aches and pains are gone on day 10. So I highly recommend his 10-day detox diet. And then the last one, if you want to know what's wrong with our food, read The Food Fix, and you'll find out what the food industry has done to us and how it has been very systematic and intentional. And it makes, basically, it's telling us that it's not our fault that we are addicted to sugar, that the foods that we eat we eat too much of, we have no control over, because they are scientifically engineered to be irresistible and to not fill us up, but to make us hungrier still. The more we eat, the more we want of them. And it isn't our fault. They're playing to our biological drives with these foods that are not really food. They're frankenfoods, food-like substances that should be avoided. Okay, next, number 2 doctor that I really recommend is Dr. Jason Fung, F-U-N-G. Dr. Fung is a nephrologist who got sick of seeing his diabetes patients get sicker and sicker and needing renal transplants. And no matter which medication or procedure that he put them on, they kept getting sicker. He decided, well, let's look and see what's causing diabetes. And turns out, guess what? It's sugar in our diet giving us diabetes. So he puts all of his patients on keto diets. He has them doing fasting. He has them getting off of hundreds of units of insulin within a week, which is not something I'm recommending you do without special care. Don't just come off of any drugs like that without someone watching out for you and doing it safely. But read his books. Number 1, the Diabetes Code. Great if you are concerned at all with diabetes. And secondly, if you're concerned at all with cancer, read his book, The Cancer Code. It's not an easy read. It's not a fun read, although he's a very funny guy. The Cancer Code is dry, but it gets to the heart of what really is causing cancer. And guess what? It's sugar in our diet that's causing us cancer problems. Okay, and then the last doctor I really want to recommend to you is Dr. Robert Lustig, Lustig, Lustig. And he is, of all things, a pediatric endocrinologist who is passionate about saving our young people. And guess what? He tells us what's wrong with our diet. It's too much sugar. In particular, he's really high or down, that is the word I want to say, on fructose. Fructose being the number 1 driver of liver disease in our children. Okay, so his book is Diabolical. It's a play on the word diabetes, or metabolical is the name of his book, not diabolical. Metabolic syndrome compounded with the word diabolical. He also has another book called, I'm blanking on it because it wasn't one that I've actually read, but I really want to tell you instead, because I'm running out of time to make this video, is he has a video or a YouTube sensation. It was actually just a scientific lecture to other physicians done like 15 years ago. And it's called Sugar, the Bitter Truth. And it went viral immediately. And since then, 24 million people have watched this video because it is that solid of information for us to all listen to over and over again until we understand it and can apply it to our daily lives. So Sugar, the Bitter Truth, a fantastic watch. It's over an hour long, so brace yourself. And it is a scientific lecture, but worth it. Okay, so those are my 3 favorite doctors because they're not only willing to go against conventional wisdom, they are willing to change their mind when the newer science comes out to update their thinking, and they'll say so. All right, I hope that is helpful. Please let me know what your comments are. And all right, take care. See you tomorrow.